The vast emptiness of space stretched before the ISS Harmony like an infinite canvas of darkness, punctuated by distant starlight. Captain J. Park's fingers drummed a soft rhythm against her command chair's armrest, a habit she'd developed during long interstellar missions. The ship's quantum drive hummed beneath her feet, a constant reminder of humanity's technological marvel. Beside her, Lieutenant Hyun Kim adjusted the long-range scanners, his eyes darting between multiple holographic displays. The recent deep space exploration mission had taken them further than any human expedition before, beyond the traditional mapped regions of the Orion Arm. "Captain," Hyun called out, his voice carrying a hint of excitement. "We're detecting an unusual energy signature approximately 0.3 light-years from our current position." Jay leaned forward, her military training instantly shifting her from relaxed to alert. The bridge crew, a diverse mix of humanity's best and brightest, tensed in anticipation. They'd heard stories of alien encounters, but most were classified or dismissed as wild speculation. The ship's advanced sensors began capturing intricate details. What started as a mere energy blip transformed into a massive silhouette, a spacecraft so alien it defied human understanding. Its organic-looking hull seemed to pulse with an internal rhythm, unlike the angular mechanical designs of human engineering. "Biometric scans," Jay commanded, her voice steady. Hyun's fingers danced across the holographic interface. Complex algorithms processed the incoming data, translating the unknown into comprehensible information. The alien vessel was massive, easily 10 times the size of the ISS Harmony, with structures that seemed to breathe and shift like living organisms. Suddenly, a communication burst erupted across their systems. It wasn't radio waves or traditional electromagnetic signals, but a complex quantum entanglement transmission that momentarily overwhelmed their communication arrays. The bridge's ambient lighting flickered. For a split second, every electronic system seemed to hiccup, as if the alien signal carried an intelligence beyond human comprehension. "Stabilize systems," Jay barked, her hand automatically reaching for the emergency protocol triggers. But something was different. This wasn't an attack. It felt more like an invitation. Holographic displays began reconstructing the alien communication. Strange geometric patterns formed, shifting and merging like liquid mathematics. The crew watched, mesmerized, as complex visual language transformed into rudimentary translations. "First contact protocol," Hyun whispered, his academic training in xenolinguistics suddenly becoming more than theoretical. The alien vessel's exterior began to change. Sections that looked like metallic skin started reshaping, creating what seemed like massive viewing platforms. It was an intentional gesture, a deliberate attempt to communicate visually. Jay recognized the strategic implications immediately. This wasn't a random encounter. This was a calculated meeting between two spacefaring civilizations. Humanity wasn't alone, and these beings knew exactly how to make that point dramatically. Tactical officers monitored weapon systems, their fingers hovering near defensive triggers. But Jay's instinct told her this wasn't a moment for aggression. The universe had just opened a door they'd dreamed about for centuries. "Full communication protocols," she ordered. "Activate Universal Translation Matrix. Let's show them we're ready to listen." The ship's advanced AI began processing the alien signals, breaking down complex quantum transmissions into comprehensible data streams. Each second revealed more, hints of a civilization that had likely traversed galaxies while humans were still learning to create fire. Hyun's displays began populating with preliminary data: biological signatures, technological markers, spatial coordinates, a treasure trove of information that would revolutionize human understanding of the cosmos. The alien vessel maintained a respectful distance, its movements precise and calculated. It wasn't threatening, it was observing. Like two intelligent species sizing each other up, waiting for the first meaningful interaction. Captain J. Park allowed herself a slight smile. Decades of space exploration, countless technological advancements, and generations of human curiosity had led to this singular moment. First contact wasn't just happening, it was unfolding before their eyes. End of Part 1. The communication channel crackled with an otherworldly resonance, filling the bridge with an electric tension. Captain J. Park watched as a holographic projection materialized, a being that defied human imagination. The Krell commander, Rolk, emerged as a complex organism of interconnected biological systems, his body a living tapestry of muscle, membrane, and what seemed like intricate neural networks. Multiple tentacle-like appendages moved with calculated precision, each motion suggesting intelligence far beyond simple physical manipulation. Rolk's communication wasn't just verbal. It was a multi-sensory experience that pressed against the ship's communication systems like a living pressure wave. Humans of the ISS Harmony, the translation matrix, struggled momentarily before stabilizing. "Your presence in this sector is unexpected." Lieutenant Hyun Kim's fingers flew across the quantum communication interface, monitoring every microscopic fluctuation in the transmission. Something about the Krell's approach felt more like a performance than a genuine dialogue. The alien's body pulsed with bioluminescent patterns, communication layers beyond verbal language. Each shift of color and texture seemed to carry additional meaning, a complexity that human technology was barely beginning to comprehend. "We have traversed multiple star systems," Jay responded, her voice calm and measured. "Exploration is our purpose." Rolk's form shifted, tentacles intertwining in what might have been a gesture of contempt or amusement. "Exploration? You are children playing at understanding the universe. We have colonized galaxies while your species was learning. To create basic tools," the bridge crew exchanged subtle glances. This wasn't a diplomatic greeting. It was a deliberate attempt to intimidate. Hyun's real-time linguistic analysis revealed layers of psychological manipulation in the Krell's communication. They weren't just speaking, they were probing, testing. "Human psychological responses. We've studied your transmissions," Jay continued, a slight smile playing on her lips. "Your technological achievements are impressive, but technology isn't just about power, it's about understanding." The ship's internal systems hummed with subdued energy. Defensive protocols were engaged, but not overtly displayed. Years of space. Exploration had taught humanity the art of strategic preparedness. Rolk's form expanded, filling the holographic projection with an intimidating presence. "Understanding, we will demonstrate true power. Witness our ultimate bioweapon, a creation that has decimated civilizations across multiple star systems." A secondary holographic display activated, revealing a creature that seemed to blur the lines between organic technology and living nightmare. Muscle groups that could reconfigure in milliseconds, adaptive biological systems that could survive in virtually any environment, weapons integrated directly into its genetic structure. "One command," Rolk's voice dropped to a menacing whisper, "and this beast will tear your civilization apart." The psychological warfare was clear. This wasn't just a threat, it was a calculated demonstration of superiority, designed to break human spirit before any actual conflict could begin. But something unexpected happened. Instead of fear, the bridge crew displayed a collective sense of curiosity. Jay's eyes never wavered, her posture remained relaxed. To the Krell, this was more unsettling than any defensive posture. "Interesting creature," Jay remarked, her tone neutral. "Shall we discuss its capabilities?" Rolk's bioluminescent patterns flickered, a sign of confusion. The human response was completely outside their anticipated scenarios. Psychological models developed over centuries of galactic conquest hadn't prepared them for this calm, analytical approach. Lieutenant Hyun discreetly initiated deep scan protocols, the ship's advanced sensors already dissecting the bioweapon's genetic signature. What the Krell saw as a threat, humans saw as a complex system waiting to be understood. The universe watched, suspended in a moment of potential conflict, as two civilizations sized each other up, not with weapons, but with intelligence. End. Verve Part 2. The bridge of the ISS Harmony transformed into a hub of controlled intensity. Lieutenant Hyun Kim's fingers danced across quantum interfaces, each movement a complex choreography of technological manipulation. The ship's advanced adaptive algorithms began their silent work, dissecting the Krell bioweapon's genetic signature. With surgical precision, quantum processors hummed beneath the deck, creating a neural network that expanded and contracted like a living brain. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't the technology itself, but the ability to understand and adapt faster than any known species in the galaxy. Genetic sequence initializing, Hyun muttered, his eyes reflecting multiple holographic displays that flickered with impossible complexity. Each line of code was a potential weapon, each algorithm a shield against the unknown. Captain J. Park watched the process unfold, her military training blending seamlessly with scientific curiosity. The Krell believed in brute force, humans believed in understanding, and understanding was their most potent weapon. The ship's AI, a quantum-based intelligence named Aria, began processing the bioweapon's genetic markers. What looked like random biological patterns to the Krell were becoming a clear blueprint to human technology. Fascinating, Hyun breathed. The creature's adaptive mechanisms are complex, but not incomprehensible. Microscopic nanobots began assembling within the ship's internal systems. These weren't just simple machines, they were intelligent particles capable of restructuring themselves in real time. Each nanobot carried a fragment of the ship's quantum intelligence, able to learn and adapt. Faster than any biological system, outside the ship, space itself seemed to hold its breath. The Krell vessel loomed, its bioorganic structure pulsing with an implied threat. But inside the ISS Harmony, something extraordinary was happening. Hyun's fingers moved with increasing speed, creating a digital ecosystem that could counter the bioweapon's most advanced capabilities. It wasn't about destruction. It was about neutralization, about understanding the very essence of the threat. Genetic firewall establishing, Aria's voice resonated through the bridge, a perfect blend of machine precision and human intuition. Adaptive response matrix at 98.7% efficiency. The nanobots began their work. They didn't attack the bioweapon, they understood it. Each microscopic machine became a translator, breaking down the creature's complex biological language, finding the fundamental communication within its genetic code. Captain J recognized what was happening. This wasn't just technological defense. It was a form of communication, beyond verbal or visual language. Humanity was speaking to the bioweapon in its own genetic dialect. Roke's holographic projection continued its threats, completely unaware of the microscopic revolution happening within the human ship's systems. The Krell's understanding of technology was linear: build, attack, destroy. Human technology was organic, adaptive, almost alive. Genetic neutralization protocol activated, Hyun announced, a hint of excitement in his voice. The ship's systems began emitting a complex quantum signal. Not a weapon, but a form of genetic communication. It was as if they were having a conversation with the bioweapon's very DNA, understanding its purpose, its potential, its fundamental nature. Aria's quantum processors worked at speeds beyond comprehension. Billions of calculations occurred in milliseconds, creating a comprehensive map of the bioweapon's genetic potential. They weren't just defending, they were learning. Fascinating, Captain J remarked, watching the holographic displays. We're not fighting, we're communicating. The nanobots continued their work, each one a tiny ambassador of human intelligence. They didn't seek to destroy the bioweapon, but to understand it, to find a way of coexistence that the Krell couldn't comprehend. Outside, the universe watched. Two civilizations stood at the precipice of a potential conflict, with humanity choosing understanding over destruction. The ship hummed with potential, a testament to human innovation and adaptability. End of Part 3. The moment of truth arrived. Say with a thunderous silence, Commander Roke's bioweapon materialized in the vast space between the two vessels, a creature that defied biological comprehension. Its form shifted and pulsed, muscles reconfiguring with impossible fluidity, adaptive, genetic structures creating and destroying potential weapon configurations in microseconds. This wasn't just a creature, it was a living weapon of unprecedented complexity. Massive bioorganic appendages stretched across thousands of kilometers, each movement calculating potential attack vectors. Bioluminescent patterns rippled across its skin, revealing intricate, neural networks that could process combat scenarios faster than most computer systems. Witness the pinnacle of Krell genetic engineering. Rolk's holographic projection roared with triumphant intensity. Lieutenant Hyun Kim's fingers danced across quantum interfaces, the ship's advanced sensors capturing every microscopic detail of the approaching creature. Multiple holographic displays surrounded him, each showing different analytical perspectives of the bioweapon structure. The creature's approach was both terrifying and mesmerizing. It didn't move like a traditional biological entity. It flowed, like liquid intelligence, adapting its molecular structure with each passing moment. Potential weapons emerged and disappeared across its body. Razor-sharp molecular blades, plasma-generating cellular clusters, adaptive camouflage systems that could render it invisible. Captain J. Park remained unnervingly calm. Her military training had prepared her for countless scenarios, but this was different. This was a moment that would define humanity's approach to first contact. Quantum communication channels open, Arya, the ship's AI, announced. Its voice carried a blend of scientific curiosity and strategic preparation. The bioweapon continued. Its approach, now close enough that its massive form blocked entire sections of the starscape. Traditional weapons would be useless against such a complex organism. One touch could potentially dissolve entire spacecraft structures. Hyun's quantum algorithms were already mapping its genetic signature, creating a comprehensive understanding of its potential capabilities. Each millisecond revealed new layers of complexity, adaptive genetic structures that could regenerate, reconfigure, and transform faster than any known biological system. Molecular communication protocol initiating, Hyun whispered, his fingers creating complex quantum patterns that would interact directly with the creature's genetic language. What happened next was beyond traditional combat or scientific understanding. Instead of firing weapons or preparing defensive shields, the ISS Harmony began emitting a complex quantum signal. It wasn't an attack. It was a form of communication that spoke directly to the bioweapon's fundamental genetic structure. The creature paused. Its massive form, which moments ago had been preparing to unleash unimaginable destruction, suddenly became still. The adaptive weapon that had decimated countless civilizations across multiple star systems was being spoken to. Rolk's holographic projection flickered with confusion. What are you doing?" His voice carried a hint of uncertainty for the first time. Jay's slight smile was almost imperceptible. "We're having a conversation," she responded calmly. The bioweapon's massive form began to change. Its aggressive postures softened, molecular structures relaxing as the quantum communication continued. It was as if the humans were reading its genetic story, understanding its purpose, its potential, its very reason for existence. Arya's quantum processors worked at speeds beyond comprehension, translating the complex genetic language into something approaching understanding. They weren't fighting the bioweapon, they were communicating with it. "Genetic neutralization complete," Hyun announced, his voice a mixture of scientific excitement and professional calm. The massive creature, designed to be the ultimate weapon of destruction, now hovered peacefully between the two spacecraft. Its threat neutralized not through violence, but through understanding. The universe watched, suspended in a moment of unprecedented communication. End of Part 4. Silence descended like a heavy blanket across the vast expanse of space. The moment stretched between the ISS Harmony and the massive Krell vessel, a silence more profound than any weapon, more powerful than any technological display. Commander Rolk's holographic projection flickered, revealing something unprecedented: confusion. The bioweapon, moments ago a terrifying instrument of destruction, now floated peacefully between the spacecraft. Its massive form had transformed from a weapon of potential annihilation to something contemplative. The adaptive, genetic structures that once represented pure destructive potential now pulsed with a strange, almost curious energy. "Impossible!" Rolk's voice carried a tremor of disbelief. Captain J. Park stepped forward, her posture calm but her eyes burning with an intensity that seemed to challenge the entire concept of interstellar conflict. Lieutenant Hyun Kim continued, monitoring the quantum communication channels. each data stream revealing layers of complexity that would revolutionize human understanding of biological communication. Communication is not about overwhelming, Jay spoke directly into the open channel. It's about understanding. The ship's AI, Area, began translating the interaction at molecular levels. What humans saw as a confrontation, the quantum systems interpreted as a profound dialogue. The bioweapon wasn't just a weapon. It was a living system with its own complex existence, its own potential for understanding. Rolk's entire biological structure began to change. The bioluminescent patterns that had previously represented aggression now displayed confusion, curiosity, something approaching respect. Centuries of Krell military doctrine were crumbling in real time. Their entire civilization had been built on the premise of technological superiority through overwhelming force. Humanity was demonstrating something entirely different, a form of intelligence that didn't seek to destroy, but to communicate. Your approach defies all known strategic models, Rolk finally managed, his multiple appendages moving in complex patterns of uncertainty. Hyun's quantum displays began populating with unprecedented data. Each interaction was revealing more about the Krell's genetic communication systems than decades of previous observations. Humanity wasn't just encountering another civilization, they were rewriting the fundamental understanding of interstellar communication. The bioweapon continued its peaceful drift, its massive form now a testament to the power of understanding. Over destruction. Molecular structures that had been designed for pure combat now demonstrated an almost meditative quality. We don't see threats, Captain J explained. We see potential conversations. Arya began compiling a comprehensive report. This wasn't just a first contact scenario. This was a fundamental paradigm shift in how intelligent species could interact. The quantum communication protocols developed during this encounter would become foundational in future interstellar diplomacy. Rolk's holographic projection began to show signs of what could only be described as intellectual vulnerability. The Krell leadership, which had conquered multiple star systems through technological superiority, was witnessing a completely different approach to intelligence. You neutralized our most advanced weapon, Rolk stated, not through force but through understanding. The statement hung in the communication channel, part question, part observation, part revelation. Humanity's approach wasn't about proving superiority. It was about demonstrating a different kind of intelligence. Adaptive, communicative, fundamentally curious. Where the Krell saw potential enemies, humans saw potential conversations. Lieutenant Hyun's quantum interfaces continued their complex dance, translating, understanding, bridging gaps that traditional communication could never cross. Each millisecond revealed more about the potential of interspecies communication. The massive bioweapon, once a symbol of destruction, now represented something entirely different. It had become a living bridge between two civilizations, a testament to the power of understanding. Shall we discuss peace? Captain J's words carried no arrogance, no threat, just a genuine invitation to understand. The universe watched, suspended, in a moment of potential transformation. Somewhere in the vast cosmic dance, something fundamental had changed. Not through weapons, not through force, but through the most powerful force in existence, genuine communication. End of Part 5.